Libra, tell me, do you wake up already exhausted? Do you open your eyes and feel like the night climbed into your morning and stayed there? Your body rises, but your heart feels heavy, your mind hazy, your steps slow, as if you're walking through invisible water. This is not laziness. This is not weakness. Something in you has been carrying more than sleep can fix. You know that feeling behind your eyes, the weight that no cup of coffee can lift, the quiet sigh you release before you even leave your bed. You keep going anyway. You smile, you show up, you hold conversations, you do the work. But as the hours pass, your energy leaks through tiny cracks no one sees. You sit in a room and your chest tightens. You lie down and your thoughts refuse to rest. You laugh in front of others and wonder, in silence, why your spirit still feels dim. You've tried everything. Earlier nights, later mornings, a nap that turns into another kind of fog. You scroll to distract the ache. You tell yourself you're fine. But deep down, there's a question pressing against your ribs. Why am I always tired? Not just in my muscles, but in my soul. Listen closely. Your spirit has been whispering for a long time. It speaks through the stiffness in your shoulders, the tight jaw, the dull ache that returns at the same hour every day. It speaks when crowds drain you, when small talk feels like lifting stones, when your room is quiet but your heart is loud. It speaks when you leave a place and feel lighter without knowing why. It speaks when your bed feels like a boat, and you are drifting without an oar. Tonight I will name what your body has been trying to say. I will put words to the invisible pull on your life, the subtle cords that tie your energy to people, places, and memories. We will not rush. We will not blame. We will simply notice, with honesty, with care, with the kind of truth that sets a tired soul free. Who could begin? Type in the comments right now. I claim my energy back. Let those words be more than text. Let them be a line in the sand. Let them be your first small step toward lightness. Because there is a reason your spirit feels drained, and when you hear it, something inside you will unlock. You will understand why certain rooms make you smaller. You will understand why a friendly voice can leave you empty. You will understand why sleep helps your body, but not your heart. Stay with me to the end. I'm going to show you how to listen to the quiet signals, how to notice the moment your peace begins to slip, how to return to yourself before the day takes you too far. I'm going to guide you back to the center you keep giving away. You are not broken, Libra. You are sensitive in a world that often forgets sensitivity is a gift. Take a slow breath. Feel your feet. Feel your chest rise and fall. There's nothing wrong with you. There is something right with you that needs care. Tonight we begin. Libra, much of your exhaustion isn't physical. It's spiritual. You are the one who balances everyone else. You are the one who tries to keep peace in the room, even when your own heart is restless. Friends, family, even strangers seem to sense it. They pour their heaviness into your hands, believing you are strong enough to hold it all without breaking. But what happens when the scales you carry tip too far? What happens when the weight of others grows heavier than your own strength? That is when you begin to feel tired in ways you cannot explain. There are burdens that never show on your shoulders, but press deeply into your spirit. When people confide in you, when they unload their anger, their sorrow, their disappointments, you may nod gently, smile kindly, and give them comfort. But what many do not realize is that you are not just listening, you are absorbing. You take their sadness into yourself like a sponge takes in water. And even after the conversation ends, those emotions remain with you. Have you noticed how you sometimes walk away from a simple talk and suddenly feel drained, as though your body has run a marathon? Nothing harsh was spoken to you. No fight happened. Yet your chest feels heavier, your back stiffer, your mind clouded. This is not your imagination. This is the invisible load you carry, the energy of others that you unconsciously hold as your own. And because you are naturally giving, you rarely put that weight down. You carry it to your bed at night, and you wake with it in the morning. You smile in front of people, but your soul quietly pays the cost. This is why your body aches without explanation. This is why some days you feel like you are moving through quicksand, even though nothing has changed on the outside. Libra, you must understand this truth. You cannot heal the world by breaking yourself. You cannot save others by draining your own life force. Your tiredness is not weakness. It is a sign that you have carried too much of what was never meant for you. The invisible load is real, and until you recognize it, you will keep wondering why your energy vanishes without warning. But awareness is the first step. Tonight, I want you to see that part of your exhaustion does not belong to you. It belongs to the sorrows, the disappointments, the fears of others. And while your compassion is a gift, your soul was never designed to be a permanent storage for pain that isn't yours. This is the reason your spirit aches. This is why, no matter how much you rest, you still feel tired. Because you are not only carrying your own story, you are carrying the silent stories of many. Libra, your tiredness does not only come from what you do with your hands or how much you move your body. Much of it comes from the battles no one else can see, the war that takes place in your mind every single day. You replay conversations long after they've ended. A simple word from someone echoes in your thoughts as if it was a thunderclap. You ask yourself, did I say the right thing? Did they misunderstand me? Could I have done it better? And with every replay, your mind spends energy that your body can never recover. You think ahead too, don't you? You imagine every possible outcome of choices not yet made. A decision that should be simple, what to say, where to go, when to act, becomes heavy because you're weighing every side, every consequence, every risk. And though this shows the depth of your wisdom, it also leaves you weary. It's as if you are running races in your thoughts while sitting perfectly still. Regret becomes a stone you carry on one shoulder. Anticipation becomes a fire that burns on the other. And you, Libra, stand in the middle trying to hold both without letting either crush you. No wonder you feel drained. No wonder you wake up more tired than when you lay down. At night, when the world closes its eyes, your mind refuses to rest. You stare into the dark, but your spirit is lit with restless questions. What if? Why did that happen? What comes next? You try to quiet it, but the voice inside is louder in silence. And so while others sleep in peace, you fight invisible battles beneath your own blanket. Understand this truth. It's not that your body needs more hours of sleep. You could sleep 12 hours and still feel drained. It's that your spirit has not rested. The battlefield is not your bed, Libra. It is your mind. This constant unrest steals your peace and slowly empties your strength. It is why you wake with heavy eyes, why you feel as though you've traveled miles in your dreams. Because you have. Your spirit has been walking through corridors of thought all night long. But listen, this war inside your mind does not define you. It is only a sign of how deeply you feel, how strongly you care, how wide your thoughts stretch. And once you learn to quiet that battlefield, once you learn to let go of what you cannot control, your spirit will finally find the stillness it has been searching for. That is when your tiredness will begin to lift. Libra, there are connections in your life that still drain you, even if the people are no longer close to you. These are not just everyday encounters. These are deep ties, relationships you once poured yourself into, people you trusted, promises you thought would last. You may believe you left them behind, but the truth is their energy still lingers in your spirit. Energy does not simply vanish. Every word spoken, every bond formed, every memory shared leaves a trace. And when a wound has not fully healed, it continues to leak, even in silence. That is why you sometimes feel tired for no reason. You are not only living in the present, you are carrying pieces of the past that were never resolved. Think about that person you said you forgave, yet their name still stirs something in you. On the surface, you have moved on. You may even tell yourself you are fine, but inside, your heart never fully released them. They remain tied to you like a thread, and with each thought of them, your energy flows back to what should have been closed long ago. Libra, every time their memory rises, whether through a song, a place, or a sudden thought, you feel that wave of exhaustion, Not because they stand in front of you, but because their shadow still lives in your spirit. You are fighting ghosts, and ghosts are heavy, for they never give back what they take. Even distance does not protect you when there is still a cord between souls. You may be miles apart, but your spirit wrestles with them as if they were still in the same room. This is why you feel tired even when you are alone. The room is empty, yet your heart is crowded with echoes. Some of these connections were once beautiful, but they ended with silence instead of closure. Others broke in betrayal, leaving you with questions instead of answers. And though time has passed, the body remembers, the spirit remembers, and your energy keeps paying the cost. This is why your tiredness feels different. It's not the weariness of work, it is the drain of unhealed connections. Until those ties are faced, acknowledged, and released, they will continue to pull at your spirit. And Libra, you deserve to live without those invisible chains. You deserve peace that is not disturbed by shadows of yesterday. Recognize this truth. The past only continues to feed on you when you allow its doors to remain open. To close them is not to forget, but to free yourself. Only then will your spirit stop fighting battles that ended long ago. Only then will your tiredness begin to lift. Libra, your body has been speaking to you, even when you've tried to silence it. The headaches that arrive without warning, the tension that builds across your shoulders, the heaviness that sits in your chest, these are not random. They are messages. They are signals. They are your spirit crying out for release. When the soul carries too much, the body bends under its weight. What the heart cannot put into words, the body begins to express. That ache in your back may not just be from sitting too long, it may be from carrying burdens that were never yours to hold. That constant fatigue may not come from lack of sleep. It may be the evidence of spiritual exhaustion leaking into your muscles. You've likely told yourself, maybe I just need more coffee. Maybe I need stronger vitamins. Maybe if I push through, it will pass. But Libra, your body does not need to be silenced with quick fixes. What you truly need is alignment. A pause to breathe. A sacred moment of honesty where you admit, I am tired, not just in my flesh, but in my spirit. The body will always find a way to speak when the soul has been ignored. If you do not rest by choice, exhaustion will force you. If you do not release the weight, your body will break under it. That is why you often feel sick when stress lingers, why your muscles ache when your heart is heavy, why your chest feels tight when your spirit is unsettled. But here's the hope. The moment you begin to listen, truly listen, the body no longer has to scream. The migraines ease, the tightness loosens, the heaviness begins to lift. Because once the soul is heard, the body can finally rest. Libra, your tiredness is not a mystery. It is your inner world crying for alignment. It is your being asking for gentleness, for awareness, for care. And when you give yourself permission to feel, to pause, to release, you will discover that your body was never your enemy. It was only the messenger. The question is, will you finally hear what it has been trying to tell you all along? Sometimes, Libra, the reason you feel tired is not coming from inside you at all. It is the energy of the places you walk into, the atmosphere that hangs in the air, the vibrations you silently absorb. Your spirit is highly sensitive, even when you try to act strong. You can step into a room where anger is heavy, where words may not even be spoken, and still feel your body tense as though you were in the middle of the fight yourself. You can sit in a house where sadness lingers and your chest begins to feel heavy, as if you are the one grieving. Your spirit is like a mirror. It reflects back what it encounters. If the environment carries tension, you carry it home with you. If the space is filled with stress, your shoulders start to tighten. And when you stay too long in rooms where the air is dark, where no laughter or lightness flows, your own heart begins to dim. Think of how your energy changes when you step outside into sunlight. Notice how your mood lifts when you hear the sound of water flowing, or feel the breeze against your face. See how silence in nature restores you in ways that no medicine can. These are not small things. They are reminders that your soul thrives in harmony with creation. Nature heals you because it gives back what the world takes away. But when you surround yourself with chaos, loud voices, constant noise, endless conflict, you become its silent victim. The people around you may not notice, but you notice. You leave the gathering feeling strangely empty, even though you smiled and laughed the entire time. You enter certain homes and immediately feel your shoulders slump, though no one has said a word. You visit certain cities, and after only a few days, you are drained, even if you spent most of the time simply breathing. Libra, this is why you often ask yourself, why do I feel so tired when I haven't even done much today? The answer is this. Your energy is deeply connected to your environment. You are absorbing more than you realize. Your tiredness is not always proof of weakness. Sometimes it is proof that your spirit is alive, receptive, tuned to things others ignore. And once you recognize this truth, you will learn to protect yourself. You will learn to choose carefully where you spend your time and who you allow into your space. Because the energy of an environment has the power to either drain you or restore you. And Libra, you deserve to be restored. Libra, the reason you feel tired all the time is not simply because your body is weak or because you lack discipline. It is because you have been living without pause. You have been moving from one demand to the next, from one responsibility to another, rarely stopping to catch your breath. Life has pulled at you from every direction, asking for more than you could reasonably give. And yet, you kept giving. You gave your time. You gave your care. You gave your energy, even when it cost you your peace. But hear this clearly. Exhaustion is not your destiny. You were not born to live in constant fatigue, to drag yourself through days and nights as though your very life were slipping away. No, your tiredness is not here to destroy you. It is here to guide you. It is not a curse, but an invitation. An invitation to stop, to pause long enough to hear your own heartbeat again, to reset the balance that has been tilted for far too long, to let go of burdens that were never yours to carry, to walk out of rooms where your soul cannot breathe, even if your body is expected to stay, to stop pouring from a cup that has been empty, trying to give when there is nothing left to give. Libra, your tiredness is a divine alarm clock. It rings not to punish you, but to wake you up. It reminds you that your soul needs rest just as much as your body. Rest is not laziness. Rest is repair. Rest is where the soul gathers its strength to continue the journey. Think of how a seed lies hidden in the soil. It does not sprout by constant struggle. It waits. It rests in the dark until the time is right. And then, with renewed strength, it breaks through the ground. In the same way, you are being asked to honor your pauses, to see your seasons of rest not as wasted time, but as preparation for growth. You cannot heal if you do not stop. You cannot hear your own inner voice if you are drowned out by constant noise. And you cannot keep shining if you never step back to refuel your light. So Libra, listen carefully. This is your call to reset. This is your permission to slow down, to breathe, to remember that you are more than what you give. The world will always ask for more, but your spirit will always remind you, you cannot pour from emptiness. Let your tiredness be the signal, not of failure, but of awakening. Because once you honor your need to reset, you will find that your strength returns, your peace deepens, and your light shines brighter than it ever has before. Libra, now you see the truth of why you feel tired all the time. You have carried weights that were never yours to hold. You have fought wars in your mind that no one else could see. You have walked through environments that drained you and held on to connections that weakened your spirit. Your heart has been stretched too far, and your soul has been crying for release. But hear me clearly. The same way you learned to carry these burdens, you can learn to put them down. The same way you absorbed what was heavy, you can choose to release it. You are not bound to a lifetime of exhaustion. You are being called back to balance, back to peace, back to the place where your spirit can breathe again. From this moment on, let your declaration be, I release what drains me. Type it in the comments. Whisper it to yourself. Seal it in your heart, because your words carry power and your spirit responds to truth spoken with intention. Exhaustion is not your identity, Libra. It is only a signpost, guiding you toward healing, rest, and alignment with your higher purpose. Stay with this channel, because here your soul will always be reminded of its strength, its beauty, and its light. Subscribe if you haven't already, and continue your journey. The tiredness will pass, but your light, your divine, unshakable light, will remain.